Hey guys, it's about beer 30. Let's take a walk into the kitchen and see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by, I certainly do appreciate it. Today's beer comes from San Fernando Brewing Company, and these guys of course are probably in San Fernando, California. And this bottle is their Red Rum Barrel Age Anniversary Red Ale. This was sent to me by Robert, and this great big 22-ounce bomber had bright gold wax on it, and I went on ahead and peeled all that off before I got on camera, so I wouldn't be sitting here trying to carve all that off while you're sitting there watching me. So we got all that off of there. Got a nice red cap on the top of it, and it says San Fernando Brewing Company on the cap here. This is a big beer coming in at 13.5%, and Robert writes, there's no date on the bottle. It's picked up from the brewery by himself on 8/21/19 last year. Has been aging in his fridge since then. The brewery is always a treat from the brewery. The brewery has always been a brewery I go to ever since they opened. Got known the owners since then. They are local to me and believe they were the first brewery opened in the San Fernando Valley, which is part of the city of Los Angeles. So, it's already aged for a year. If he picked it up of August of last year, we're into, this is September the 3rd. So this wraps up his beer mail package, and I certainly do appreciate Robert picking up those beers and sending me stuff even out of his fridge. So thank you very much, Robert. I do appreciate it, sir. Beer Advocate doesn't even have this beer listed, guys. I went on Beer Advocate and looked, and they don't even have it listed. This was done a year ago. Really? It is a dying website. It most definitely is. Over to Untapped. 89 people have posted comments or ratings on this beer. It's a French oak rum barrel aged red style barley wine. They're calling it a barley wine. It says that he's calling it a red ale. I'll be able to tell the difference when I taste it, but it is a barrel aged beer. So 13.5%. We don't have the IBUs, and he's telling me he picked it up on 2019. So I don't see that on there. And it says this bottle, I guess it's got 70 on it. So bottle number 70, 13.5%. It's got it written in two different places on the label. And on the label here, it says it is an innovative red barley wine using experimental hops during both the brewing and dry hopping process. You don't have to give your soul for this beer, fermented on French oak and aged in Nicaraguan rum barrels. Well, hopefully the Nicaraguan barrels are just as good as the Nicaraguan cigars that I smoke. Very unique flavors that shine, relax, and enjoy with friends because of all work and no play. So, you guys are in San Fernando Valley. They're in Los Angeles. I don't know if it's a brewery only release or they distribute it out to the beer stores, so I don't have that information. Let's find out what we got. Little hiss, no smoke, and the beer is down to here on the label, on the bottle. So I don't know if that's where it was when they bottled it or if we lost a little bit. Let's get it into the glass. Seems to be, whoa, fairly carbonated. It didn't get a big hiss, so that surprises me. Let's ease off on that super aggressive pour for right now. Good looking beer. Seems to be decently carbonated even though we didn't get a big hiss when we popped the cap on it. So, almost 2 fingers of head on that pour. And the appearance could be a red ale, could be a barley wine, but the bottle says it's a barley wine, and that's what I'm going to go with. So, good looking beer. A little bit of light. It's very cloudy up here, and a little bit of light through the thin part of the glass down there. It's definitely a good looking beer. So let's get it to the nose and see what we got. Yes. A little bit of the barrel aging notes going on there. A nice maltiness, and you're going to get that from a barley wine. Caramel, toffee. Smells pretty good. It has a very pleasant aroma. Wow. Smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Robert. Thank you so much for the beers you sent me. I do appreciate it, sir. Very tasty. Now the barrel aging notes, they aged it on French oak. It says French oak rum barrel aged, so I don't know if they use spirals or they actually put it in a barrel. I would assume they put it in a barrel. It's not super off the chain, but it's a rum barrel. It's not a bourbon barrel, so you're not going to get as much notes usually from those barrels. I'm just saying. Seems like the bourbon really intensifies that a little more than the rum barrels do. It is a tasty beer. The alcohol is well hidden for 13.5%. It's a well-made beer. It is a very pleasant beer. But that's a big beer. 13.5%. Drink this for the home. Don't want to see you get in trouble or hurt anybody. That's very tasty. Nice creamy heads. It's hung around. I mean, it's very creamy on the top. And nice lacing it's leaving on the glass. That's a well-made beer. Probably not a cheap beer to buy. So, thanks to Robert again for pulling this out of his fridge and sending it to me. Hopefully he had more than one and he got to try it or has had it and not sent me the only one that he's had. Very tasty. That's a smooth drinking beer for 13.5%. Very well done. Impressive beer. Other than having some kind of dating or vintage on it, that's the only thing I can fuss about. Even though it's a big 13.5 barrel aged beer, I would like to see them put something on it. It was put in the bottle in 2018, 19, 20, so we will know. And even better than that, would have a month in the year. We've done the beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year of that year. So, but it is what it is. I'll take a quick look and see if there's anything written on the bottle here or stamped on the bottle. I don't see anything, but it's still got some condensation on it. I'll look one more time when I come back for the final chug and see if I see any kind of writing on the bottle. But it'd be nice if it was written on the label somewhere, or you would know that. But it is what it is, guys. So let me sip on it, and we'll come back and figure out where it's going to end up. All right, guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it for about an hour or so. Very tasty beer. Excellent lacing left on the glass. A little bit heavy on the booziness now that it's warmed up, but it's a 13.5%. And the barley wines, a lot of times, will have a little bit more prominent booziness to them than some of the others. But still very enjoyable. Very, very tasty beer. I don't think it's world class or a tin beer, but it is a well-made beer. I'm getting a little bit more booziness on the nose now than I was when it was cold out of the fridge. But still tasty. Final chug. This is a big boy's beer. Please drink this one at home, guys. Wow. Tasty, but a big boy's beer. This is a heavy beer, 13.5%. This is not for you macro lager drinkers. This would blow your palate out of your mouth. Be out in the street. Big boy's beer. Very tasty. To me, guys, A minus is where I'm going to put this. I would probably give it an A if it had some kind of vintage or dating on it somewhere, and they haven't done that. So 90 for me on this one, guys. Beer Advocate doesn't even have it listed. A dying sight. Like I said earlier, Untappd has 89 ratings and comments on this beer. So, and they have it at 4.02, which is also in their A minus rating. A minus beer, unanimous. So, if you've had red rum from San Fernando Brewing Company, let me know what you think. Tasty beer, not world class, but still very tasty for big boys beer. So, if you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.